Hello, my dear friends. Today I would like to talk to you about the origin of the myth of Wonder Woman. The first mission for Wonder Woman was to reassure. When the United States were about to enter World War II, the parents of American kids were worried because in superhero cartoons there was too much violence. So, to make them feel safer, All American Publications, that is one of the two publishers that later merged into DC, hired an educational consultant, Professor William Moulton Marston, a psychologist and inventor of one of the components of the polygraph, that is the lie detector. Marston was convinced that the issue with comics was their horrible male quality. And in 1941, he suggested a solution, a female superhero. Wonder Woman is now turning 80, and to celebrate her birthday, there's an exhibition in Milan, Wonder Woman the Myth, to celebrate her in all her glory and contradictions. Concerning superheroes, the story of how that character got his or her superpower is always a part of the plot and of the features of the character. So Superman fell on the earth after the destruction of his planet, and so he protects humans. Batman saw his parents killed in the street, and so now he fights against crime. The myth of Wonder Woman instead is based on a feminist utopia. Princess Diana of Themyscira, this is her name, is the daughter of the Amazon Queen. She was raised only amongst women on the Paradise Island, and she saves a clumsy pilot who crashed there, and then she follows him in the world of men. Marston was very sensitive to the feminist hype of those years, also because in his home he lived in a very strong ménage à trois with his wife, Elizabeth Holloway, a brilliant psychologist and lawyer, and his second girlfriend, Olivia Byrne, a former student who stopped working. She gave up work to take care of 4 kids. 2 were hers and 2 were the other wives. And Byrne was also the niece of the activist Margaret Stanger, who was a supporter of erotical rights for women, and whose contribution was crucial in the development of the birth control pill. So these are the real women who inspired the features of Wonder Woman. And we should keep in mind, when we want to do everything on our own, that it took 3 to make 1. It took 3 women. But the feminism of Marston was not based on the principle of equality. He was really convinced that women were morally better than men, and that this popularity of the comic would prepare young people for the unavoidable arrival of matriarchy. The superpower of Wonder Woman is the loving submission, and the truth lasso is her preferred weapon. This might be a quote to remind of the polygraph, but it also contains a sexual metaphor. So this view is probably not particularly progressive, we should say that, but on the other hand, Wonder Woman is also drawn as a pinup girl with boots. But anyway, she is set in a context of empowerment. When Marston died in 1947, his wife Elizabeth asked DC to be the one who replaced him. But they hired a different illustrator who turned Wonder Woman in a cinema star, a model, and a nanny, all roles that are more appropriate for a lady. And actually also in the real world, the fight for equality is sort of stuck, as husbands come back from war and they want their jobs back. So the wives go back to the home to ensure stability for the country. So the controversial but disruptive quality of Wonder Woman is sort of fading. And at the end of the 1960s, our superhero gives up her powers to remain a devoted girlfriend. She also gives up her battle name and the Amazon costume. And now, as Diana Prince, she opens a store. So there's no criticism of the patriarchal society anymore. She is just another cog in the system. We have to wait until the 1970s for Gloria, Steinem, and other intellectuals to decide that they want to go back to the superhero of the origins, who had shaped the aspirations of her generation. And so they convinced DC to restore in their comics the original Amazon Wonder Woman. In 1972, her return is announced on the cover of the first edition of MS, a magazine dedicated to topics that really matter to women: politics, health, economy. And the title is striking: Wonder Woman for President. But leaving aside also the most controversial aspects of the original character, the new Wonder Woman becomes the mascot of the movement. And in the TV version of Lynda Carter in 1975, she also becomes a pillar of popular culture. But in exchange, she has to give up some humanity. Wonder Woman is an extraordinary creature. She is the supporter of good, fighting against evil. And so this model is out of reach. And at least in Lynda Carter's version, the alter ego, Diana Prince, at least keeps some features of the modest girl. She has tied up hair, she wears glasses, she wears some worn out clothes. But in the most recent version in cinemas, she is always very beautiful, very hot, because we know that the star system also wants male audience in cinemas. And so it is in this unsolved tension between empowerment and pleasing that Wonder Woman remains a very modern symbol, very relevant today, because feminism maybe did not win or has not won yet, but and every day we have to find a balance between the need to be Wonder Woman, to remain safe until night, and the frustration that in 2022 we still have to draw inspiration from Wonder Woman, when actually equality should be or is a right and not a superpower. Thank you for your time.